This is Barron from Skeptic, and this is Drunk Birmingham Music History, or Drunk Birmingham Punk History. I'm not sure which. Nonetheless, about a long time ago, when we were down here, once upon a time, the Exploited were supposed to play at the Nick, and we were still in high school, back when the Exploited was the Shiz Knit, and we found out about it because nobody promoted it. So myself and like Matt Cross and Fred from Caustic Outlook and the Elam Twins and Tim Weiss and probably Dave Smith and Scott Horton and probably like 20 or 30 more of us showed up, and half of us couldn't get in. So we're all hanging around outside wondering if the Exploited were actually going to come to Birmingham and play. And I think this was when Death Before Dishonor came out. And so it was like a weeknight, and we were still in high school, and the only ones of us who were underage who could come out were the ones whose parents would actually let us go out on a weeknight. So we came out, and we're sitting there waiting like several hours, it seemed like. And so finally, after a while, if you look down that way, there's like a van pulled up, kind of like that over towards that where the bridge is, and all you saw was a rental van with some Mohawks silhouetted in them. And so we're like, that's got to be the Exploited. So we spent like 20 or 30 minutes, because we're all like 17 or something, and, you know, we're scared to death. You know, oh my God, the Exploited are in Birmingham. So after a while, we're like, do we go talk to them? Do we not go talk to them? Do we talk to them? Do we not go talk to them? So after a while, we kind of walked over there, and there's, you know, we see these Mohawk people who we don't recognize sitting in the vans, like, it's got to be Exploited. So they open up the door, and Waddy kind of sticks his head out and comes outside, and he's like, who are you guys, and whatnot, and we're talking to him. And so his dialect in Scottish was so heavy we couldn't really understand what he was saying. But one thing we managed to figure out was that they were drinking Michelob Light, and he wanted to know if we wanted any. And he's like, would you like some Michelob Light? It's really good beer. And so
we were drinking Michelob Light.
Yeah, it's about as punk rock as you can get, some Michelob Light. Yeah, so we sat there and talked to Waddy and the rest of the band while their tour manager went inside and started to find out what was going on. And half the audience couldn't even get in the show, and there was only like 30 or 40 of us total anyway. So we told him about what passed for a scene in Birmingham at the time. And after a while, the tour manager came out and kind of talked to him for a second. And we're like, so you guys going to play? He's like, no, it's just a bunch of wankers and the club sucks, you know. So after a while, we chatted with him for a little bit, and he's like, does anybody want to go to it with us to Atlanta? You know, and so none of us would take him up on it because we weren't sure how we'd get back. So after a while, they got in their car with their Mohawks and drove on to Atlanta, we presume, and we kind of hung around for a while, and then after a while, we went home because we had class the next day. And that's the night the Exploited came to Birmingham.
Hey, man.